Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and happy Wednesday, everyone. We are midweek, hanging in there. I hope you all are having a fabulous day, a fabulous week so far. I hope you're one step closer to meeting your goals, whether it be health, fitness related or not. And that's really what we're here to discuss on today's episode, all about habits and goals and very tiny steps in how to create your own happiness, right? Because happiness is created within ourselves. We cannot expect to be happy by being with somebody, by doing substances, by anything external that's not within us. That is not true happiness. So one thing that brings me lots of joy is being able to laugh with my mom or laugh at her sometimes. And I say this because literally right before I started recording today's episode, or right now, I had posted like a funny video on my story, or I thought it was funny. My mom didn't think it was that comical. It was me doing a headstand, and the way that I fell, my back was like all twisted in like a really weird way. And there's this really inappropriate song that's called My Neck, My Back. And it's very explicit lyrics. I definitely will not be reciting those lyrics on the episode right now. But I know that a lot of my Gen Z and millennial folks will understand and appreciate the joke that I meant. So in that video that I posted on my story, I had that song playing in the background, and the video was in slow-mo. So it showed me falling in slow motion, bending my back in like a really weird way with that song, My Neck, My Back, playing in the background. So of course, my mom didn't think it was too funny, and she responded to that story, and I'm going to try my best to translate it in English, but to be honest, it sounds a lot funnier in Spanish. And in Spanish, she said, I'm first going to say it in Spanish and I'll translate it for you guys. So for my Spanish speakers, I hope you appreciate this joke. She says, "Qué canción tan horrorosa, ¿no te da vergüenza, hija?" Meaning, what an ugly and horrendous song. Aren't you embarrassed to like have posted the song? And I replied with, "It's a joke, ma." And then she replies with "es caca," which means like, the direct translation in English is it's poop. So like in English, it doesn't sound funny, but like in Spanish, I know like for a lot of like Latino people out there, like you probably can understand my situation, can probably relate to my situation, because they tend to be really like, not so much conservative, but they definitely don't like those types of lyrics, explicit lyrics, vulgar lyrics, as she says. So anyway, it was just really funny because I can like hear that is such like a typical response of my mom, and she's not upset or anything, but like the whole escaca comment just like threw me off, and like I've literally been cracking up about that for like the last 5 minutes before I started hitting the record button today. So anyway, laughter, you guys, laughter. That's one of the things that makes me happy. I love laughing. It literally releases endorphins. And like I said, on today's episode, that's what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about, how to be happy, how to create your own happiness, and implementing daily habits, weekly habits, monthly habits, yearly habits to add to your routine that will help you reach that goal, that will help you take that one step and push you that one step to reaching your end goal. And I know I'm going to say a lot of cliche things on today's episode, but I'm going to remind you guys, and I need to remind myself too, that's why I'm saying it out loud, is I think a lot of times we get fixated on, reaching the end goal. We think, once I attain this, once I reach this, then I'll be happy. But we need to realize that it's not so much the end point that makes us happy, and makes us appreciate everything, all the hard work you've done, but rather the journey, all the trials and tribulations, the setbacks and your comebacks. All of that's what really is important. And I know it's nothing new. You guys have probably heard this 1,000 times. So you'll hear it 1,001 more time, okay? And this is, again, I fall guilty into this. A lot of times, I get into this thought process like, once I do this, once I reach this in 6 months, then in 6 months I'll be happy. Or like, then in those 6 months I'll be okay, I'll be successful. And it's like, we have to remind ourselves that really the only time that really matters and the only time we really ever have is the present moment. What is happening right here, right now. Not what's going to happen next month. Not what's going to happen next week, next day, not even what's going to happen within the next minute, okay? Literally is just the very present moment. That's all we'll ever have. If anything, if 2020 has taught me anything, is that you really can't take anything for life for granted, anything. And that your life can change like that in an instant. I mean, literally this slapped me in the face once, the death of Kobe Bryant happened in January. Like, he was flying home, or flying to a basketball game for his daughter. And in a split second, his family thought they were going to see him later that night after the game. And, they did. And it's like, that's really what 2020 has been teaching me, is that you really have to appreciate every little thing in your life. Be grateful for every little thing in your life. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take the people in your life for granted. And just really soak up every moment, because we really don't know when, it's going to be our last moments here on this earth. And I know I'm getting my Tony Robbins out here right now. I'm getting real motivational for you guys. But that's really what I want to dedicate to, this entire episode, because happiness and mental health, emotional health, especially emotional health, that's just one of the many dimensions of health and wellness. And it's not just all about, the physical wellness or mental, it's emotional. It's a lot of different things. So that's why I just think it's really important to go over it today. And I will be sharing with you guys, 25 healthy habits to add to your routine that are just so easy, don't really require you to spend money, and that will in the long run make you a happier and more fulfilled person, not by the things that you have or by the things that you obtain, but by your views of yourself, your views of the world, just how you feel about life, how you go about through your day. And not only am I talking about this for you guys, but I'm also talking about it for myself. I also want to go through these 25 habits and try to apply every single one to myself. If I'm being honest, I don't do every single of these habits. There's still a lot of work that I need to do. There's still a lot of internal growing that I need to do, a lot of healing, a lot of growing that I need to do. I'm not the most perfect, the most bubbly, the most happiest self on this earth. I know there's still a lot of internal work that needs to be done for myself. So Here I am trying to hold myself accountable by sharing with you guys these 25 healthy and happy habits to apply to your routine. So again, we will go over an overview of these habits, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly habits. So definitely stay tuned for the entire episode and for what's to come. So you guys, I'm going to come to a very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on these healthy and happy habits.
Are you looking to learn more about the latest trends from the fitness world? Are you confused by all of the different trends that are out there? The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place for you. The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place to come for people of all skill and interest levels. Join us as we explore the latest trends in the fitness world. Does that new exercise really work? Should I try yoga? Whatever your question, chances are good you'll find an answer on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So like I mentioned, we're going to be talking all about these habits that you are able to start applying today so that you can become a better, happier self. And I just want to say that happiness looks different for everyone. For you, maybe it's being at peace with who you are, or having a secure network of friends who accept you unconditionally, or the freedom to pursue your deepest dreams. Okay. Happiness means different for everybody. And regardless of your version of true happiness, living a happier, more satisfied life is within reach. A few tweaks to your regular habits can help get you there. Okay. Habits matter, you guys. Habits are so important. Habits are everything. Morning routine, night routine, everything. How you talk to yourself on the daily. Do you know that, you guys? You are the person who talks to yourself the most. Not your mama, not your dada, not your cousin, not your son, not your daughter. Yourself. So habits matter. The way you talk to yourself matters. If you've ever tried breaking a bad habit, such as, smoking, you know all too well how ingrained they are. It's really hard to break bad habits once you've been doing them for an extremely prolonged time, every day, all day, every day, right? Well, just how bad habits can be ingrained, good habits are deeply ingrained as well. So why not work on making more positive habits part of your routine? So here's a look at some daily, monthly, and yearly habits to help kickstart your quest. Again, just remember that everyone's version of happiness is a little different, and so is their path to achieving it. The way I want to achieve happiness is not going to be the same way that you are going to want to achieve it. So you may not be able to apply all 25 habits that I'll be mentioning, but maybe pick a few that you're like, this is doable for me. I can do this. I can commit to doing this every day. It says it takes 30 days to make or break a habit, right? So dedicate yourself to 30 days. Just remember again that everyone's version of happiness is different. If some of these habits create added stress, or they just don't fit your lifestyle, then don't do them. Ditch them, okay? With a little time and practice, you'll figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So again, you don't need to apply all 25. All 25 may not apply to you, but definitely pick and choose some that are doable for you, that you'll be able to commit. Because a lot of times, sometimes we try to incorporate habits into our lives and they don't work out for us, and then we feel even more unmotivated or even more undisciplined to, create good habits, create happy, healthy habits. So just pick and choose, play around what works for you. But I think the very first daily habit, we're going to first be discussing daily habits. And I think most of these daily habits that I will be going over, I think that almost all of you are able to do this. If not, not almost, all of you are able to do this, okay? The first one, so easy, so simple, and it's free 99. Who doesn't like free? And that is to smile. Okay, just smile. Smile. You tend to smile when you're happy, but it's actually a two-way street. We smile because we're happy, and literally smiling causes the brain to release dopamine, which literally makes us happier, you guys. Dopamine is a happy chemical that's released from the brain. So even when you're feeling sad, sluggish, smile. Literally the act of smiling makes you happier. That doesn't mean, though, to go around with like a fake smile plastered on your face all the time. Because not only will that be exhausting, but that's just fake. And people will be able to tell. But maybe the next time you find yourself like a little low, crack a smile and see what happens. See how you feel. Or try starting each morning by smiling at yourself in the mirror. This is one that I'm actually trying to implement myself daily is, the first thing, I have this really bad habit of mine. First thing I tend to do when I wake up, I look at myself in my mirror and immediately start pinpointing, dissecting my face, my body, and pointing out all of my flaws, all of the things I don't like about myself. First thing in the morning. And I don't even realize how detrimental that is. And so I'm definitely going to try and change that. And just like the first thing I do when I see myself in the mirror is just like look at myself, admire myself, and smile. Just smile. Just that tiny daily habit can start your day on a better note. So I challenge you guys to wake up every morning. First thing you do in the morning when you see yourself in the mirror, don't dissect yourself. Don't tear yourself apart. But just smile. Next, this other daily habit, again, I believe all of you are able to do this. I do this 5 times a week, and that is exercise. Movement, okay? Exercise isn't just for your body. Regular exercise, I'm sure most of you know this. It can help reduce stress. It can help reduce feelings of anxiety and symptoms of depression while boosting self-esteem and happiness. Even a small amount of physical activity can make a difference, okay? You don't have to train for a triathlon or scale a cliff or do some heavy Olympic weightlifting, unless that's what makes you happy, of course. The trick with exercise is not to overexert. If you suddenly throw yourself into a strenuous routine, you'll probably just end up frustrating and sore, right? And then you just end up beating yourself up. So consider these exercise starters if you're one who hasn't really been working out lately, but you want to start kind of getting into it. You can take a walk around the block every night after dinner. This is something my mom does. She takes my dog out for a walk, really quick, 10 minutes, and immediately she's happier, the dog's happier, to win-win. You can also sign up for a beginner's class in yoga or Tai Chi. Again, with all the closures of gyms and fitness studios, I'm not sure how that's really operating, but I'm sure that most people have been doing online classes or they've been doing them outdoors. So definitely, check your local yoga studio in your area and see if they're offering any beginner classes online or beginner classes outdoors. And this is another really good one in terms of exercise movement, is to start your day with 5 minutes of stretching, okay? This is something I used to do religiously every morning, but I'm not going to lie. I have been falling off stretching every morning for 5 minutes because I need to wake up at 4 a.m. I need to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work and teach classes. And I mean, if I really wanted to, I could squeeze it in. But honestly, I value my sleep so much. So like, I literally will not get out of bed till the very, very last second when I like absolutely need to. And I'm like damn near running late. Okay. I'm like rushing out the door. So I just know for myself, starting my day with 5 minutes of stretching, I probably can't commit to just the way my work schedule is. So I'm trying to push myself, or not push myself, just hold myself accountable and maybe try stretching, every day, like after my shift at work or like before going to bed. But I know a lot of people who stretch first thing in the morning and they just feel energized and like their muscles feel warmed up and like their bodies feel long, clean, and stretched. It's a really great way to start your day, honestly. If I wasn't waking up at the crack of dawn, I would still be stretching, 5 minutes every morning. So again, when it comes to exercise, just remind yourself of any fun activities you once enjoyed, but that have fallen, by the side. I know during quarantine, it's been rough, you guys. I know we're not all in maybe the best shape that we hope to be. We're really, getting down on ourselves during this time, but we have to remind ourselves we're literally living in a pandemic, so we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves. We should still care and love for our bodies and appreciate our bodies. So again, just do fun activities that you enjoy, whether it's running, walking, biking, or just, activities you always wanted to try, such as dancing. Take an online dance class, or like, I don't know, golf. I don't know. Golf is an outdoor sport, so I'm assuming it's still open, golf courses. That's the key with exercise, so that you stay consistent. Do something that you enjoy doing, that literally makes you happy. And if you're a beginner, start off slowly and then gradually increase in intensity and time, etc. So we're going to come to a very short break right now. And when we come back, more on daily healthy habits.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. Getting straight into it because we have a lot of habits that we have not even touched on yet. So habit number 3, third daily habit, again, that is absolutely essential, absolutely vital, that we all need to do more of, including myself, is getting more sleep. Sleep is so important. Do not deny it, okay? No matter how much modern society steers us toward less sleep, telling us sleep is for the weak, hustlers don't sleep, while you sleep, I'm making money, whatever it is that rappers are telling you in the songs, don't listen to them, okay? We know that adequate sleep is vital to good health, brain function, emotional well-being, and so much more. Most adults need about 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night. If you find yourself fighting the urge to nap during the day or just generally feel like you're in a fog, your body may be telling you it needs more rest. But to be honest, it's so hard because I feel like when I do get my 8 hours of sleep, I'm still hella tired. But then when I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm still hella tired. So it's like, why can't I ever wake up feeling refreshed? Like, why is my body not resting? I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand. So here are a few tips to help you build a better sleep routine. And the first one being is to write down how many hours of sleep you get each night and how rested you feel. After a week, you should have a better idea how you're doing. Again, you don't need to implement every single tip because I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to do this first one. Okay, I know myself, like, I'm not going to write down how many hours of sleep I get each night and how rested I feel, okay? But for some of you who love writing, journaling is your thing, then implement this tip to see how this is a way you can build a better night's sleep. Another way to help build a better sleep routine is to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, including weekends. I feel like this is something I struggle with because from Monday through Friday, I'm like on top of it, or I try to be, I try to sleep between 8 p.m. and like 9:30, and then I'll wake up 4 or 5 in the morning. And during the weekend, I don't do that because I'm like, oh, it's the weekend, I can sleep in. And I feel like that's why my sleep schedule is always thrown off, and like why when it hits Monday, it is like such a struggle bus because it's like I have been sleeping really late the last 2 nights, and like the night before, Sunday night, I'm trying to take my butt to bed early, but like I literally can't. So I don't know, you guys. I'm still working on trying to get a better night's sleep. This is definitely a habit that I need to work on myself. But it's hard also like waking up at the same time in your weekend as you are like waking up the same time during the weekend as you are during your week. Cause like, what the heck am I going to do at 4 a.m. in the weekend if I don't have work? You feel me? Like, I'm not going to go work out that time. You can also reserve the hour before bed as quiet time. So like an hour before bed, take a bath, read, or do something relaxing. Avoid heavy eating and drinking. Invest in some good bedding, and keep your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. I have heard that like keeping your bed, your room really cold at night also helps you sleep better, which I can imagine as well because I hate going to bed like drenched in sweat. I think all of us do. So I think all of these tips are pretty great. I think it's just choosing one that best fits your needs. Me personally, I kind of do the whole reserve the hour before bed as quiet time. Maybe not an hour. I'll probably do like 30 minutes before, being honest. So I'll take CBD oil. I have this lavender neck wrap my mom bought me for my birthday that's supposed to like also help just calm my body down. It has lavender essential oil, so that's one of the benefits of lavender, and I wear it as I'm sleeping in it. I've been getting much better night's sleep. And I'm on my phone, I put it on red light mode because if you guys didn't know, blue light actually messes up your circadian rhythm. And if you're scrolling through Instagram, through Twitter right before going to bed, you're literally pushing your bedtime hour 2 hours later. I did dedicate an entire episode to blue light versus red light. So if you do want to listen to that, it is listed here in the GSMC Health and Wellness podcast. Not exactly sure what it's titled or what episode number it is, sorry, but it is just called like blue light. So go ahead and give that a listen if you want to learn more. Next daily habit that we should all implement is to eat with mood in mind. You already know that food choices have an impact on your overall physical health, but some foods can also affect your state of mind. For example, carbohydrates. Carbs release serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. Just keep simple carbs foods that are high in sugar and starch to a minimum, because that energy surge is short and you'll crash. So complex carbs such as vegetables, beans, and whole grains are going to be a lot better sources of carbs. I think this is also why when it comes to like Thanksgiving food, it's like feel good food, right? Like home cooked meals are feel good foods. Soul food is like feel good food because it's just carb heavy and it literally releases serotonin, which is a feel good hormone. That's why when we eat these foods, bread, butter, pasta, like we literally just feel like all yummy and happy inside, right? Also, lean meat, poultry, legumes, and dairy. These items are high in protein, and these foods release dopamine and norepinephrine, which boosts energy and concentration. So we like that as well. And then lastly, highly processed or deep fried foods tend to leave you feeling down. So will skipping meals, okay? So again, just start by making one better food choice each day. You don't need to dive in cold turkey and like completely eliminate everything in your cabinet and your fridge that isn't, deemed as healthy, because that also will just make you not break that bad habit, and instead you'll end up, feeling down on yourself because you think you failed in changing your healthy eating habits. So just one step at a time, make one better food choice each day at a time. So for example, swap a big sweet breakfast pastry for some Greek yogurt with fruit. So that way you're still getting that sugar content in, but in a healthier alternative way. And you'll still satisfy your sweet tooth, and the protein will help you avoid a mid-morning energy crash. So try adding in a new food swap each week, and then that will also just slowly help create better eating habits, which will just make you just feel better overall. Next daily habit that everyone should be doing and that literally will just make you happier is just to be grateful. Practice the act of being more gracious, waking up with attitude and gratitude, I like to say. I talked about this in my New Year's episode, or New Year episode, in terms of like my new goals for the year, and that was definitely on my list. One of my top things to do was like to just wake up and feeling more gratitude. Like I said, if 2020 has taught us anything, is to be more gracious, appreciate every little thing that you have in your life. Simply being grateful can give your mood a big boost among other benefits. For example, a recent 2-part study found that practicing gratitude can have a significant impact on feelings of hope and happiness. So start each day by acknowledging one thing you're grateful for. You can do this while you're brushing your teeth or just waiting for that snooze alarm to go off. Me personally, I like to do it, first thing in the morning, but like I go into like a really deep prayer, because that's my thing, prayer, on my commute to work. That's really when I like take the time to myself and really just be grateful for everything, for the clothes on my back, for the car that I drive, for my health. Oh my God, like literally another thing that we should never take for granted, our health, especially in this pandemic. There's so many things, you guys. As you go about your day, try to keep an eye out for pleasant things in your life. They can be big things such as knowing that someone loves you or getting a well-deserved promotion. But they can also be little things such as a coworker who offered you a cup of coffee, or the neighbor who waved to you. Maybe even just the warmth of the sun on your skin. With a little practice, you may even become more aware of all the positive things around you. And as a result, this will just make you go about your day in a more pleasant way. You're just going to be happier, literally just be a more positive, more happier, well-rounded person. So you guys, we're going to come to another very brief break right now. And when we come back, more daily habits to start adding to your routine.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're still diving deep into these daily habits, and I hope you guys are really enjoying them and really taking in what I'm saying and hopefully applying these to your life starting today. So again, I'll just do a quick review since we have gone through a few. First daily habit to start incorporating is to smile. First thing each morning. Smile at yourself in the morning instead of nitpicking every little thing that you hate about yourself. Something that I also need to be working on. 2, exercise. You guys already know the benefits. We won't get too deep into that. 3, get plenty of sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep is not for the weak. Get it in. 4, eat with mood in mind. 5, being more grateful. Attitude with gratitude. 6 daily habit that you should start incorporating today. Give a compliment. Research shows that performing acts of kindness can help you feel more satisfied. Giving a sincere compliment is a quick, easy way to brighten someone's day while giving your own happiness a boost. Catch the person's eye and say it with a smile so they know you mean it. You might be surprised by how good it makes you feel. And if you want to offer someone a compliment on their physical appearance, again, make sure to do it in a respectful way. Now, with all of that being said, I'm going to need my fellas to listen up real quick, right quick. Y'all tuning in? For my guys, I would say do not go up to a random woman in the store, on the street. Don't pull up right next to her in your car and give a compliment that way. Not only is that creepy, but that really gives us women our fight or flight instinct, and we will pepper spray you. There is just, especially with the climate in our world right now with, I won't get too dark right now, but trafficking and everything, it's not, even if you had good intentions, just don't do it, okay? I know I definitely get creeped out when a guy compliments me, a stranger. I don't like that, and I'm sure a lot of others don't as well. So just be mindful of that, of how you approach women. Honestly, I love receiving compliments from other girls. When a pretty girl compliments me, I'm like, how are you complimenting me? Anyway, give a compliment. 7 daily habit you should start incorporating is to breathe deeply. This doesn't necessarily mean you need to go full yoga mode, but you're tense. We tend to carry our stresses and our worries on our shoulders, and they become tight. And you feel as though you might lose it. We all know that feeling. We've all lived it. Instinct may tell you to take a long, deep breath to calm yourself down. I know me, and when my anxiety kicks in, I literally need to do this or I'll just start freaking out. Turns out that instinct is a good one. According to Harvard Health, deep breathing exercises can help reduce stress. So the next time you feel stressed out or at your wit's end, work through these steps. Close your eyes. Try to envision a happy memory or a beautiful place. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and then slowly breathe out through your mouth. And then repeat this process several times until you start to feel yourself calm down. If you're having a hard time taking slow, deliberate breaths, try counting to 5 in your head with each inhale and exhale. Really good strategy, really good tactic, especially for those who do suffer with anxiety. Next amazing daily habit you should start incorporating, and it's actually really important, is to start acknowledging the unhappy moments, the not so bright moments. A positive attitude is generally a good thing, but bad things happen to everyone. It's just part of life, right? If you get some bad news, make a mistake, or just feel like you're in a funk, don't try to pretend you're happy. I know the typical popular saying, fake it till you make it. It's not always the best decision. Acknowledge the feeling of unhappiness, letting yourself experience it for a moment. Let it pass through you. Then shift your focus toward what made you feel this way and what it might take to recover. This doesn't mean that you are that emotion. If you are feeling upset, angry, sad, depressed, don't let that emotion overpower you. You are not that emotion. But that doesn't mean to suppress it, right? I feel like a lot of times we've been taught to suppress these bad emotions. Again, fake it till you make it. Have a positive attitude all the time. Yeah, it is important to have a positive attitude, but it's just as important as well to acknowledge the unhappy moments and let that emotion pass through you. Feel it, but let it pass. Don't be it. So, again, how can you recover from these bad emotions, unpleasant feelings? Take a deep breathing exercise maybe, or a long walk outside, or talk it over with someone. Let the moment pass and take care of yourself. And just remember, no one's happy all the time, 24/7. That's just not how life is. 9th daily habit that you should start doing. I started implementing this probably the beginning of this year, and that is to keep a journal. Okay. A journal is a good way to organize your thoughts. It's a good way to analyze your feelings and make plans. And you don't have to be a literary genius or write volumes to benefit. It can be as simple as jotting down a few thoughts before you go to bed, how you feel about your day, what goals you accomplished, what didn't you accomplish and want to change for tomorrow. If putting certain things in writing makes you nervous, you can always shred it when you finish. It's the process that counts. So you can write down your emotions, how you're feeling. You can then shred it after. So for me, what I like to do in my journal, I actually like to do it when in the morning. It's like my gratitude journal, I like to say. So in my gratitude journal, I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And then right after the 5 things that I'm grateful for, I'll write actually a prayer. I'll write out a prayer and I read it out loud. So I write it and read it just so it's I really understand what it is I'm jotting down, because for me personally, I sometimes have this tendency to just write things down and not really invest the time and understand what it is I'm writing. Why am I writing this? Why do I feel like this? Why am I grateful for this? So for me personally, I write it out and I read it to myself. I read it out loud, let it be ingrained in my head and my heart, and really feel that emotion of gratitude. 10th and last daily habit that we should incorporate is to face stress head on. Life is full of stressors and it's impossible to avoid all of them. There's no need to, okay? Stanford psychologist Kelly McGonigal says that stress isn't always harmful, and we can even change our attitudes about stress. For those stressors that you can't avoid, remind yourself that everyone has stress. There's no reason to think it's all on you. You're alone. And chances are you're stronger than you think you are. Okay. I know it's hard when you're in the moment. It feels like, oh crap. Like, how am I going to resolve this issue? How am I going to get this done? This was literally me this morning, you guys. I was in a really stressful situation with my boss. We had to come up with a plan in minus T hours, send out a quick text to our members of the facility, and it was chaotic, but we got it done. So instead of letting yourself get overwhelmed, try to tackle the stress head on. Think more, okay, here's my issue, here's my problem. How am I going to resolve this? This might mean initiating an uncomfortable conversation or putting in some extra work. But the sooner you tackle it, the sooner the pit in your stomach will start to sink, okay? I know stress sucks, but it's also, it builds character, right? It builds grit. It helps you kind of think on your feet. It helps you get creative with problem solving. Think outside the box. So stress isn't always bad, but obviously too much isn't good either. So you guys, those are the 10 daily habits that you should incorporate, add to your routine, and these literally will just make you a happier, more well-rounded person, okay? Again, smile, exercise, get your sleep, eat with intention, with a mood in mind, be more grateful, give a compliment to somebody, breathe deeply, acknowledge the unhappy moments and let them pass you. Keep a journal and face stress head on. So we're going to come to another very brief break right now. And when we come back, we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about some weekly habits to start adding to your routine today.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So like I said, we're done talking about the amazing daily habits that we should all start incorporating into our routines today so that we can become our best, happier, healthier selves. And we're now continuing along with that conversation, but now diving into the weekly habits. Weekly things that, again, we should start doing today to live our highest potential. The first one, and it's actually really important, and I need to do this week, is to declutter, okay? Decluttering sounds like a big project, but setting aside just 20 minutes a week can have a big impact. So what can you do in 20 minutes? A lot, actually. Set a timer on your phone and take 15 minutes to tidy up a specific area of one room. Say your closet or that out of control junk drawer. Put everything in its place and toss or give away any extra clutter that's not serving you anymore. Keep a designated box for giveaways to make things a little easier and avoid creating more clutter. Use the remaining 5 minutes to do a quick walk through your living space, putting away, whatever stray items and in your path. And you can do this trick once a week, once a day, or anytime you feel like your space is getting out of control. My bedroom is out of control, you guys, and it gets like this. I'm sure my ladies can relate with me on this one. My room gets so messy and cluttery when I change. Like when I'm changing, I'm just throwing clothes everywhere. I'm trying things on. I'm like, this doesn't mesh well. I don't like how this looks on me. And like, I just like toss it on the floor. So like, there's literally so much clothes everywhere in my room. And it's just like sitting there in a pile. And it just stares back at me every day. And I like know I need to do it. But I also just like, I'm so lazy to do it because my room is upstairs. And I swear I have the hottest room in the house. So I like, even putting clothes away, I'll start dripping sweat. So that's my situation right now. But I definitely need to start decluttering more often. And I need to do this like tonight. So declutter, you guys. That's going to make a difference. 12. Now this next weekly habit is going to be a little bit more challenging with the whole pandemic and social distancing, but it's still really good and important for your health, emotional health, and that is to see friends. Be around people who love you, who care for you. Of course, socially distant and safely. So I would recommend maybe meeting at a park and like having lawn chairs and like having like a circle of you, like hang out that way. I'm actually planning on doing this with friends very soon. You know, us humans, we are social beings and having close friends can make us happier. And I think that's why a lot of individuals have been having such a hard time. Well, actually, I think why most of us have been having such a hard time with this lockdown is because we are social beings. We're social animals and we crave that attention from one another. As much as people want to say they hate being around other people and hate socializing, yada, 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 we all socialize to some degree. Like, unless you are literally in a stranded island by yourself, you're social, okay? So it's just natural. It's just natural to us. So if you miss somebody, reach out to them. Make a date to get together or simply have like a long FaceTime call, phone chat. This is literally what I'm doing with one of my best friends who lives in LA. We're having a FaceTime call on Friday and like just catching up. And even that is like good for us. In adulthood especially, you know, we're all growing up, getting jobs, getting busy, getting down. It can feel next to impossible to make new friends or link up with old ones. But it's not about how many friends you have. It's about having meaningful relationships, even if it's just with one or two people, okay? Quality over quantity. So try, you know, getting involved in a local volunteer group or taking a class, fitness classes. I feel like fitness classes, that's where a lot of people meet. And a lot of these people end up going to these classes same time every week. So you tend to start getting a bit comfortable and familiar with those people. So become friends with them, you know, like that's literally what's happened to me. Like, before I started working at these gyms, I was taking these classes and like it tends to be the same people every week in these classes. So like there's another way you create new friends and with liked interests, right? You're both taking this fitness class that you both really like. And it doesn't even need to be fitness. It can be anything, any type of class. It can both just help to connect you with like-minded people in your area. And chances are they're looking for friends too. Companionship doesn't have to be limited to other humans either. Pets can also offer similar benefits according to multiple studies. So if you love animals, but you can't have a pet due to, I don't know, someone in your family, someone that you live with being allergic to pets, or like your apartment building, your landlord not letting you have a pet, consider volunteering at a local animal shelter to make some new friends, both human and animal. So friends, social interaction, it's very important for emotional well-being as well. Next weekly habit that you should start doing is to plan your week out. Even if you don't have much going on, this can still just help in tremendous ways. If you feel like you're flailing about, like just waking up, having no plan, no structure, no schedule, try sitting down at the end of every week and making a basic list for the following week. Even if you don't stick to the plan, Blocking out time where you can do laundry or go grocery shopping or tackle projects at work can help to help quiet your mind. You can get a fancy planner, but even a sticky note on your computer or a piece of scrap paper in your pocket can do the job. Me personally, I like to have a planner just so, it's all laid out in front of me. I don't know. I'm like in between being a planner and being a spontaneous person. The main things I write down in my planner are, I have two different planners. I have like a whiteboard that's like a monthly planner. And on that whiteboard, I have listed out for the month. It's like a monthly planner, all of my postings for Instagram, because I am on a contract with a specific brand and I have to reach a certain amount of postings every month on different social media platforms. So if I don't meet those postings, then I break my contract and then I don't receive those benefits. So that monthly whiteboard planner that I have going on helps me to stay on top of my postings so that I don't fall off track of my contract. But then I also have a weekly planner, like an actual pen to paper planner. And I just write out like what times I need to go into work. And it just helps me like visually see like how my schedule's looking. I'm not the type of person, I'm not like a digital planner. I don't like having all of my life's work on my phone. I have this daunting, not even an idea because this can actually happen, but I just always feel like one day I'm going to wake up and my phone is just like completely messed up, blacked out, like everything's just like gone and I can't have my whole life on my phone, if that makes sense. So I still like to have a lot of things written down on my planner, such as my appointments, just things I got going on in my life. So definitely plan your week. Even if you're not working right now due to the pandemic, just write things down to keep you on some type of schedule. Okay. That really is really, really helpful. Next, super vital and important weekly routine to do. You can even do this daily as well, but I know it's like a challenge for many of us, is to ditch your phone. Unplug from all electronics. Turn off all the electronics and put those earbuds away for at least 1 hour once a week. They'll still be there for you later if you still want them, that is. If you haven't unplugged in a while, you might be surprised at the difference it makes. Let your mind wander for you for a change. Read, meditate, take a walk, and pay attention to your surroundings. Be sociable or be alone. Just be. Like I said, live in the present moment. Don't be caught up in what the next person's doing on Instagram, what someone's taking a photo of their lunch. It's a lot. And I know it's a lot harder for us because we're so connected to our phones. Like, it's a part of us. And I read this really amazing quote earlier today actually about this. And I hope I say it correctly, because it's going to suck when I'm trying to say the quote and I don't say it correctly. But I read someone say on Twitter that the more connected we are to our phones, the more disconnected we are to our spirit. And that rings so true to me, because there was a point in my life where I was literally living and breathing my phone. First thing I do when I wake up, check my phone. Last thing I do, check my phone. And it's why am I so plugged into other people's lives and not on my own? If I were to die tomorrow, what was I doing the day before? On my phone all day, not doing anything productive, not just being and living in my whole self. That's not right, So definitely I challenge you all to unplug from all electronics for at least 1 hour once a week, okay? It does make a world of a difference. I unplug every time I go walk my dog. I used to carry my phone with me when I went walking with my dog, but now I don't bring my phone with me. I do bring, though, my pepper spray, so don't get it twisted. I still come in strapped, ready, okay? But anyway, yes, I do not bring my phone with me when I go on these walks, because I want to be plugged into life, my surroundings, on the little things my dog does, the little mannerisms he has. So that kind of leads into my next point, or my next weekly habit to incorporate, is to get into nature, get into the outside world, literally. Spending 30 minutes or more a week in green spaces can help lower blood pressure and depression, according to a 2016 study. Your green space could be anything from your neighborhood park, your own backyard, or a rooftop garden. Basically, anywhere you can appreciate some nature and fresh air. This is why I think the spike in indoor plants have skyrocketed, because it literally just like helps lower blood pressure. It also improves the air quality in your indoor space. So definitely nature. It just provides a really serene feeling and ambience. So again, those are some of the weekly habits to start doing today. Again, I'll go through them again. First one being to declutter, see your friends, socially distanced and safely. Plan your week, ditch your phone, unplug for at least 1 hour, and get into nature. So you guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. I think I'm going to continue on with the yearly and monthly habits for the next episodes, since I didn't get to that part on today's show, since we did run out of time. So definitely stay tuned for Monday's episode, as I will continue on this discussion on the habits to add to your routine. 25 habits to add to your routine to become the best, happiest, healthiest you. If you like today's episode and you want to hear more, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here for the next one.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.